Right now, I want you to look at the water you're drinking. Seems ordinary, doesn't it? Just a clear liquid with no apparent consciousness or awareness. But what if I told you that the thoughts you have while drinking that water might actually change its molecular structure? That speaking words of gratitude to it could create beautiful crystalline patterns, while negative thoughts could create chaotic ones. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I walk you through the fascinating research of Dr. Masaru Emoto, who spent decades photographing frozen water crystals under different emotional conditions. You'll see the actual evidence, learn about the scientific debate, and discover how this information might completely transform your relationship with the water you consume every day. The science behind water memory. Would you believe that the water you drink actually changes its structure based on what you say to it? I'm not talking about magic. I'm talking about real experiments with photos to prove it. When Japanese researcher Dr. Masaru Emoto first shared his findings back in the 1990s, most people thought it was a bit far-fetched. But his work has sparked a fascinating conversation about water's hidden properties that continues today. Dr. Emoto wasn't your typical scientist. After graduating from Yokohama Municipal University, he became interested in alternative medicine and eventually water research. His breakthrough came when he started freezing water samples and examining their crystal formations under a microscope. The process was quite straightforward. He'd take water samples, expose them to different influences, freeze them at -20 degrees Celsius, and then photograph the resulting crystals. What made his work stand out was the striking visual evidence. When water was exposed to words like love and gratitude, either spoken to the water or written on labels attached to containers, it formed beautiful snowflake-like crystals with clear, symmetrical patterns that looked like delicate works of art. The crystals had defined structures with six-fold symmetry and intricate details that were genuinely beautiful to look at. But here's where it gets even more interesting. When the same water was exposed to negative words like hate or anger, the results were dramatically different. Instead of those lovely symmetrical patterns, the crystals came out all messy and broken looking. They lacked coherent structure, appearing fragmented and distorted, as if the water itself was disturbed by the negative energy. In one particularly striking experiment, Dr. Emoto took water from the same source and put it in two identical containers. One was labelled "Thank you" and the other "You Fool." The difference in crystal formation was remarkable. The "Thank You" water created complete harmonious patterns, while the "You Fool" water formed incomplete asymmetrical structures. The visual contrast was so clear that even skeptics found it hard to dismiss outright. Dr. Emoto didn't stop with words. He expanded his experiments to include music, exposing water samples to different genres and compositions. Classical pieces like Mozart's Symphony No. 40 produced elegantly formed crystals with clear geometric patterns. In contrast, heavy metal music resulted in distorted, chaotic formations that looked quite similar to those exposed to negative words. It was as if the water was somehow listening and responding to the different vibrations and qualities of the music. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like pseudoscience, and that's a fair reaction. But here's something that might make you reconsider. In 2006, a proper double-blind study seemingly backed up some of Emoto's findings. Researchers conducted an experiment where about 2,000 people in Tokyo directed positive thoughts and intentions toward water samples stored in California. Control samples were kept under identical conditions but received no such directed thoughts. When later examined, the water that received positive intentions formed more beautiful and complete crystal structures compared to the control samples. Critics argue that selection bias might be at play, that researchers might unconsciously choose the most beautiful crystals from water exposed to positive words, and the least attractive ones from negatively exposed water. Others point out issues with experimental controls and reproducibility. But even with these criticisms, Emoto's work raises fascinating questions about consciousness, energy, and the nature of matter. If water can indeed respond to human intention and emotion, what does that tell us about the world we live in? And what might it mean for our bodies, which are composed of roughly 70% water? Practical water wellness at home. If water truly responds to emotions and intention, as Emoto's research suggests, then the 700 litres of water you drink each year might be carrying more than just minerals and chemicals into your body. Your tap water has travelled through miles of pipes, been processed with chemicals, and absorbed countless energetic imprints along the way. While most of us worry about filtering out the physical contaminants, we rarely consider that our drinking water might need energetic cleansing as well. Think about it. When water leaves the treatment plant, it's been through quite a journey. It's been pumped through industrial equipment, mixed with chlorine and other disinfectants, pushed through the public supply system, and finally into your home. According to Emoto's findings, this entire process could be altering the molecular structure of your water in ways that make it less beneficial for your body. It's not just about removing the stuff you can see or taste. The energetic quality of water might be just as important for your well-being. And here's what's really interesting. You don't need expensive equipment to start improving your water's structure right at home. But before diving into energetic enhancement, the first step to better water is to make sure it's physically clean. One of the most reliable ways to do this is by using a proper water filtration system. Benchtop, undersink, or reverse osmosis filters can significantly improve the quality of your drinking water by removing impurities, chemicals, and other contaminants. Reverse osmosis, in particular, is considered one of the most thorough methods available, using pressure and a specialized membrane to separate pure water from unwanted substances. Clean, contaminant-free water provides the perfect foundation for further improving your water's quality through energetic practices. One of the simplest techniques is to speak words of gratitude to your water before drinking it. I know it might feel a bit strange at first, talking to your glass of water, but considering Emoto's photographs showed dramatic differences between water exposed to positive versus negative words, this small act might actually transform the structure of your drinking water. Just a simple "thank you" or "I appreciate you" before taking a sip could potentially make a difference. Another easy method is to write positive words on paper and wrap them around your water bottle or container. You could use words like love, gratitude, and healing, the very same words that produced beautiful crystal formations in Emoto's studies. The idea is that these positive intentions might imprint on the water, potentially enhancing its structure and making it more beneficial when you drink it. For those wanting to take this approach a step further, there are specialized water restructuring devices available. The Grander Revitalization Board, for example, claims to restore water's natural hexagonal shape. Structured water, as it's often called, is water in its natural, unaltered state, similar to what you'd find in pristine mountain streams or waterfalls. This type of water is thought to hydrate your cells more efficiently and help your body remove toxins more effectively. So here's something to think about. Could this be the missing piece in your wellness routine? We often focus on eating the right foods, getting enough exercise, and taking our vitamins. But maybe the quality of the water we drink deserves just as much attention, not just in terms of filtering out chemicals and contaminants, but also in terms of its energetic structure. And here we are, wrapping things up. We've been on quite the journey exploring Dr. Emoto's fascinating work, haven't we? What strikes me most is how something as fundamental as water appears so deeply connected to us. When you consider that nearly 3/4 of your body is water, it takes on a whole new significance. Water truly is the source of all life, as scientific literature confirms. This intimate connection between our bodies and water suggests that its molecular structure might influence our well-being in ways we're just beginning to grasp. Next time you pour yourself a glass, Perhaps pause for a moment. Treat your water with kindness. Your body might just thank you for it.